honestly, this is why physical media is so much better, right? Because it's physically there. It's like, why is Samuel Jackson on the front cover of RoboCop? He ain't fucking RoboCop. Like, fucking clickbait. You don't get that, like, art form of classic fucking... Oh, just gone. I can Dave as well. I want to play Day of the Tentacles, probably. Hey, I need to do a video for Fortress if you want help. I'll talk to you. Don't want to make these stupid videos. Wow. You want to be in this stupid video? What's the fucking matter with him? He's fucking not been right for a while, in mind. Hey, you can't watch a movie anyway. I want to watch Day of the Tentacles when I'm doing this washing. Turn that off and I want my red control pad. Right, I'll not watch your film, Day of the Tentacles. You can have your red control pad. And do some dishes. What do you mean do the fucking dishes? Why don't you do the dishes? Honestly, you can't even have a day off. That's some carnage. Well, these light bulbs are probably dim. Hot water. Aye, so I was meant to do a review. I got housework to do. Hello, welcome to this weird, wacky, but wonderful. Aye, getting there. Gotta need a plug. Washing up liquid and the plates of at home. Drop the tap on. Aye, well done. My favourite cup in the world, Frank and we once had 4, now got 2. Fucking hell. I had visions back when I was a kid there. Fuck. Even more fucker. Yeah. Fucking gonna lay off the weed, like. Jesus. Fucking really was there? Ian, where the fuck are you? What are you doing? Hey, what's going on? There's too much racket out here. Be quiet, everyone. Things are getting a bit strange. What do you mean? Is outside then? Ian, where's 7 at?
I'm right here. What is going on?
Fuck that. The fun of it all. Where everyone go. welcome to the review for Fortress. Hey everyone, I'm home. Where's everyone? This is ultimately the safest place in the house right now. Right, okay, so I'll properly introduce this. Hello and welcome to the review random, the weird, wacky but wonderful for Fortress. And I'm not talking about Christopher Lambert Fortress, we'll get to that in the outtakes. And I'm not talking about the more recent Fortress with Bruce Willis. And Bruce Willis has banged 2 of these out, and I think there's a 3rd one on the way. Haven't opened them, that'll be me. Bruce Willis, the good, the bad, and the what the fucks. Okay, so, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. For years of working in retail with films and talking to people and meeting people like specifically like Action Jackson and stuff like that, all the way at the conventions like Killian H. Go. A film, The Quest, and again, foreshadowing an outtake there, that had me for a few years till Paul Ray remembered what it was. But there was a film that stumped even Paul Ray, and it wasn't until recently I had a deja vu premonition and went, why didn't I ask Killian H. Go? And from the brief synopsis I gave to Killian, he came back and told me it was called Fortress, and I was like, fuck right off. Now, at some point, I believe My dad used to watch a lot of movies rented from a video shop, and I believe this is how I originally seen The Quest and Fortress, because both of these films are Australian imports. And this film terrified me as a kid. And there's certain films, I've talked about this with the Frankenstein when it was Randy Quaid, and I was shocked to find out it was Randy Quaid. The Stalkism of that, and then this film at school. So I went to Castleside Primary School when I was younger, and I just had visions of just like startalization and like fear of just someone popping up at the window, and I could never really put my finger on it. And of course my dad lives in New Zealand as well, and some of the schools they looked at when I was over there, you know, again there was so much shaking there, but I couldn't remember. And I just explained this to quite a lot of people, going, do you remember that film? And everyone was like, no. And then Killian went, it's called Fortress. Now there's a bit of fiasco, and there it is. So the fiasco is going to come in out of the outtakes, because this has been coming for a few weeks now, me sitting down and physically recording this. This was 20 quid off World of Books. It came inside out. Dirty is still written on it. It jumped a little bit, but it is in no way in sellable condition, which you can just see there. It was a right shame, and you can see the outtakes. They've tried to justify it, but I was just like, this is terrible. But for the movie, that was $5.99 on release. It slipped by. So it's something we never even got in. I've been putting out DVDs now for the past 11 years straight. And I would have, you know what I mean? I was looking at Killer's Moon and 88 films. I was looking at all these films they were bringing out, and like asking Casper, and even Casper was even scratching his head about it. And then I put it on, and I sat right here, and yes, it jumped a little bit, but I've seen this twice now. I give the disc a massive clean, and the Blu-ray player upstairs pushed it a lot better than the PlayStation did. But honest to God, like, I cannot thank Killian enough, because this film traumatized me. The whole popping up at the window, and it's Santa Claus, there's a frog, there's a duck, there's a cat. The duck even happens to be the guy from Mad Max 2, and also Benedict from fucking Commando, and also in Evil Beneath the Loch Ness. Vernon, who's called Vernon. And I think that's pretty much the only guys being famed. It's got that starts off and all these kids are one class, and like they're in this little school camp. It's a small little village, which I can relate to. And you know, like suddenly these guys come away and take them away in a van, all wearing masks, and it's fucking terrifying. And this is a 15, and you know, I put it on there, and I just remember this as a kid. Now living close to the Gill Bridge and the Gill Caves, where we shot the Goonies video, which again relates to me Frogs Dreaming video, where you had that the fear of someone coming out of the water. Again, this all reminisces to me, because there's a massive cave system near my house, and they locked them in the cave, and I always remember the woman trying to swim out, and I just remember something cosmic blue about it, and that's all I've seen. And for years I've been trying to track down what it was, and this is it. And I've watched it, and I've absolutely fucking loved it. Getting the answers finally answered in when I'm nearly 40 years old of this film that's obviously haunted me for about 33 years. And it's great. I mean, the kids get taken away. It's grim. It is very violent towards children, which again is something that, you know, would have been all right then, but it probably would have been like that then. They get locked into a cave. The school teacher really tries to calm the kids down, and obviously there's different grade agents. There's a bit of bully going on there. There's a lot of huntsmanship pushed onto the kids from the families at the start, so you can see different kids have different things. There's setting a lot of things up, and then there is these four guys running around with these fucking masks on, and they're terrifying. They're taunting them. They pretty much remember to leave them in the cave till they swim out. And there's, again, it's quite explicit when they swim out as well. There's like, you know, school teacher gets naked and stuff like that, and you're like, whoa, what's going on here? So anyway, they swim out, and then they end up getting into a house, which I didn't remember. Then there's some really weird ending. There'll be an outtake of that, because there's really sped up and overcranked and quirky little noises. I was watching this the other night and going, well, that's a bit weird and creepy. And then obviously it gets to the point where they build a fortress at the end and take their last stand. And I think this film inspired Edge of Honor with Corey Feldman a couple of years later in America, because this is, again, it's an Australian, this was popular. And that's what Edge of Honor does at the end. They take this last stand, even though if you see Edge of Honor when they cut. You remember the tree in Predator? When they're all like, Carl Weathers and that, like reaching down, and you get Schwarzenegger, and it's like, say the tree's about that big in that movie. In the movie of Edge of Honor, right, the stumps are about that big and they come down and completely decimate a truck. And it's just like, fuck right off. But on this, they build this little fortress and they take their last stand. And obviously, one by one, there is none with the 4 guys because they end up fighting off against each other. One of the ducks gets completely decapitated. But then again, the guy running around in the fucking woods and creeping them out. I can see you. It's fucking terrifying. And this stayed with me for a long time. But what I've really found, I mean, there's an amazing sunset. And I'm not going to show you the sunset. But I will show you the sunset right now over the top of me of a sunset I filmed 2 days after I seen the movie. And I was like, wow, that's fucking, it's like art imitating life there. And I can't get rid of that sunset. And there's a great shot when the kids are walking across there now. And if you were to do that now, it would be CG. But what I found really, really fucking dark about the movie, right, is the kids, you know, fought them off. They get away, you know, they're, you know, one by one there's none with the guys. And then at the very end, the kids turn on the guy so viciously, right? And you think, fuck me. And they all chip in at fucking kicking and stabbing this guy to death. And you're like, fucking hell. And then it cuts to the kids back at school and they're like, yeah, it's all done. And the cops have questions. And the film fucking leaves this really well opened. The cops have questions about this and they're like, yeah, there can't be animal attack. And like, they can't really put the finger on it. And the whole thing screams like, what the fuck happened? You know, it's a mystery. And the camera pans around at the very end, and at the very end, the last scene of the movie, it's the guy's heart preserved in a jam jar with the rest of the fucking science stuff in the classroom, and you think, fuck. You just fuck. Like, oh. It's like, fuck, now the fucking kids turn into fucking crazed cannibals and remove his fucking heart. So there's some dark tones with this movie. Now, there is a lot of outtakes coming, there is some unboxings, but again, I'm so happy, and I thank you very much, Killian, once again, for popping this one in here. And I'm going to leave this in this video now, because there's another thing haunting me from my childhood. Me and my cousin Brian used to have cartoons taped, right? So if anyone knows this, cartoons taped off the television. Tom and Jerry was there, the blue anteater from fucking Pink Panther was on that, and then it cut about a quarter of the way into this, I want to say it's British, but I don't think it's British. It's very watercoloured animation, and it's about a riverboat, you know, going up the river, and there's some kind of, I mean, I don't know what this is called, so I'm not trying to give you a question thing here. There's some kind of thing going on, and I'm sure one of the characters is a fucking dragon who they end up feeding coal to, and he ends up chasing, and I think they're trying to get there. And the thing is, there's no ending of it, and there was never that in the VHS tape. I'm sure it was somewhere around, but like, again, if anyone knows what that was taped off the television, that is pretty much as vague thing I give Killian, and Killian went, oh, it's called Fortress. And I was like, no man, not Christopher. I was like, no, it's called Fortress. And again, A Low World of Books handled a nightmare, because that is 50 quid on Amazon. And I tell you what though, it's a fucking hell of a film, and that needs releasing on Blu-ray in the next generation. 88 films, you know, even like anyone like that, it is a great movie, and it's fucking terrifying. And it has been remade, and it's not called Fortress. I don't know, it's got another name. Santa Claus is on the front cover. But IMDb that yourself, and I'll see you in the epic outtakes.
Use your telephone. Oh, sorry, dear.
Where do you think you're going, Toad, eh?
Something so weird about that shot.
Okay, so in the world of Lonely Tree Entertainment, this is the outtake now for Fortress, so I can talk about Fortress and go into something a little bit different. There should be another outtake, we'll get there with that, but fuck my life, man, what a nightmare this has been. I'm still at this moment waiting on the replacement, so I'm not going to make this outtake too long, because I think when we get to the outtakes there'll be weird, wacky, it'll be a weird, wacky but wonderful. I'm foreshadowing that because of all the alternative outtakes and where we could go with this. So yeah, okay, so I've just done this mental unboxing of Watchers 2, Illegal Entry, Drop Dead Fred, Never Sleep Again. The duck mask has just been unboxed. If you want to see me unbox the duck mask like you've seen in the video, so check that out. But yeah, handle with care. So again, let's have a look in here. See, it says handle with care. £5 for these two. £7 total. So I already have Fortress on DVD, and it's quite rare to get a hold of Fortress. I love Fortress. My dad was a massive Christopher Lambert fan, and Fortress came along, and Fortress is mint. And again, look at that, nicely in its box, you know, nicely cleaned. And this is just a general seller. But I didn't want Fortress. What I wanted was Fortress 2. Now I have Fortress 2 on big box VHS. I can see it every time I sleep. It's in there. And Crystal Lambert returned re-entry. It's the same movie in space. For the time it was a cash in. It's the era of straight to DVD. Again, it's in the box. It's nicely clean and sealed. And I just didn't have it. So when I was thinking about Fortress, actually, I don't have Fortress 2. And obviously thinking ahead of when I've been trying to work out what this film's been called for all these years, and it's called Fortress. So if you were to tell me that's Fortress, that's Fortress. And the next outtake is going to be me talking about Bruce Willis in a film called Fortress. So, next outtake. Hello in the outtakes for Fortress. Okay, so parcel. Now, I'm going to show the package on camera because it shows you who it are. So we'll see what it is. Right, okay, so I don't know if I've explained the story. I'm just not, this is when part one of the outtake, I would guess. There it is. Cuffs. American import. £11. Free postage. Disc the wrong way in the box. But at least it was actually secure in the box. Now I've never bought the bullet and bought this because it's always been over £20 easy. This is probably not going to work. It might work actually, but I don't need to work because if you want cuffs and you love cuffs like I do, just get that. It's actually got the same front cover, which now I'm going to kick myself because there is an alternative cover of that. That's the Blu-ray and DVD. And obviously if you haven't seen it, check out the channel because Christian Slater pops up on the channel and signs that. But yeah, I just literally, when they told us I had to spend me £20, I had a quick look for Corey and Corey Feldman, nothing I didn't already own. And then the next one was Christian Slater. So essentially two Christian Slater films. But as it stands right now, I can now ask them for the refund. That's the difference. Because we were fucking dicks about it. Like, oh yeah, pick a film, right, I'll have Cuffs and King Cobras. King Cobras should be the next one coming. Right, okay, you can only have one. Well, fuck off, what am I supposed to do about the £9? You know what I mean? It's like, the DVD you sent me is not in sellable condition. It's a rare movie, but it's not in sellable condition, okay? You can go, right, it's maybe worth quarter of the price, because pristine, prices on eBay go up and down all like this. But again, I can't fault them on saying, look, you can have a free DVD, but I will now fault them and going, well, where's my £9? So King Cobra is on its way, but I've had to personally buy that, and then with the idea of getting a refund off for Cuffs. So Cuffs now belongs in the collection. I'm not sure when the Fortress video will be produced and how far in advance, and I know I've already waffled on, but filming loads of stuff on a 6-day run, so it all gets muddled up. Bye! Right, he's now in Fortress. We're back in Fortress. So Cuffs has been unboxed. It's been a couple of days later, and can you fucking believe this? Right? Check this out. This is almost like a remake. That's how it was. That's how Fortress was. Alright. And then you can kind of see the company. That's the second one. So it's not like, whoop. It's like, oops, I did it again. And it is King Cobra. Wow. It's upside down. So there's not a mark on it. So really, you know. But again, look at this. Watch. Clips in, right? Hasn't dropped, has it? That wasn't in the box to begin with. Assholes. Next outtake. Hello. Right, so we're still in the Fortress outtakes. Obviously, we haven't even filmed the review yet. We haven't filmed any of that. It's been a very busy week. And if you follow the events over the channel, if you look at stuff like the vlog, which is unnamed at the moment, around Newcastle Night Out, Money Train, tournament poster, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. See, everything is just still around us because I haven't even sat down. So, you know, there's a charity shop finds, Bruce Willis waffles, you know, the Siege is there, Sasquatch t-shirts here, gone Sasquatching. I was sitting in the pub on Monday night and it's Thursday morning. It was Tuesday night and it's Thursday morning. It is Thursday morning, but it was Tuesday night. I was sitting in the pub in Newcastle, and just told the story in the other video. Paul Ray sent me a message. I was like, ooh, and then Britt was just like, I don't want to go to the bar. So I went to the bar, and like again, it's the expensive side of Newcastle. It's like 20 quid a round. So that was 20 grand. Well, what's this you got? What's this you got? The basket on eBay. I was like, well, order is that. We'll call it quits. Half cut. She did it. You know what I mean? So like, cool. Thursday morning, super fast post. The other item it's expected today, which is a money train, which will go back to my money train video. So there's another video because that's a pile of money trains, and then we've got the wolf there. There is too much going on at the moment. I'm fucking dreading sitting down and looking at this footage. But when I talk about Fortress, I will probably have mentioned that I didn't realise it was an Australian film, right? And I do want to watch Fortress again, soak it in, Fortress. I also want to take time to watch the two Bruce Willis films called Fortress and Fortress of Sniper's Eye or something. But I was trying to work this out, and at some point in my early childhood I have seen Frogs Dreaming, also known as Quest, also known as Go Kids, also featured in Thomas Hodges' book, and Fortress at the same time, and then never seen them since. So I was saying, you know, is this something like when my dad lived in England when I was younger? Did he go to a local video shop, and that local video shop only distributes certain movies, or took a risk on certain franchises? Again, the reps used to travel around, and not everyone would get in every video. They wanted the latest hits. They wouldn't support, like, might not get loads of Corey Haim movies and stuff like that. So you kind of have to see from the small point of view what shops may have got in, because I don't think I would have seen these on TV. You know, my dad used to watch a lot of films, and then he was like, right, you can't watch this, go upstairs. That's my dad's upbringing. Like, alright, whatever, cool. But, as I've talked about before, it's scared the shit out of me. Now, I'm going to talk about the other film, Frog Streaming. I'd seen it, and I've gone into this loads now. If you go on Lonely Tree Entertainment, there's a Frog Streaming podcast, there's a Frog Streaming review. The pond at the Gill Bridge was used in it, because as a kid, that pond scared the shit out of me. And then, obviously, I think in the video, it happens, Sam, my brother from New Zealand, comes over, and there's this crossover between Matcha Wake and the source for a Walker River, and this fucking horrible gunge I've got to live with, and it's the bipolar opposites of two Mason upbringings on the other side of the world. So there was all that going on, but when you go to the film, I just remember them going to the pond and Summit, and again, I'm a massive fan of Loch Ness Monster, and believe in the myths of Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster, because I want to believe in Summit. So, this film went on and on and on. And like when I've went to Killian, what's this film? And Killian's went, boom, it's called Fortress. This happened with Paul Ray. I've worked with Paul Ray for over 10 years now. And he's a lovely guy, great movie buff and all that. And about 5 years ago, this happened. I says, what's this film called? And Paul went, it's called The Go Kids. It's called The Quest. It's called Frog Streaming. And I picked it up from a German import, and I was going to get in. So it is in the other room, has a prime spot. It never goes up into storage in the loft. And again, the other night, sitting there, and Paul Ray's just like, look, it's on Blu-ray now. 20 quid free postage, and it's shit hot postage. And there you go. Region free, Umbrella Entertainment, classics. Plays on all regions, audio commentary, in the depths of the legend, looking back at Frog Streaming, so it's got extra features that went on the DVD. And if I open it up, and the thing about this movie is, right, and it's in Australia, that's the connection to Fortress. You know, they're all like, let's go and get some food and go in the bush. I'll get some cigarettes. You know, sorry, I haven't got like bloody hell. You know, I've got that New Zealand Kiwi accent. See, here's the cool thing about it, right? Again, it's Elliot from E.T. It's the movie he made after E.T. Henry Thomas, why it wasn't so widely available. Frog Streaming on one side, and inside the Quest with the creature sticking out. Now, out the two, that is the better cover. So it's going to be called The Quest. Look at that, man. There you go, The Quest. And if I've got enough time on the camera, Thomas Hodges' book is down here. So if you haven't seen this, Thomas Hodges is an amazing artist. and he released this a good few years ago, and it's all like 80s and classic VHS covers. It's not all the classics, it's weird stuff, it's retro stuff, it's random stuff, it's stuff you could probably get the license for, like Slugs and Slaughterhouse, they've seen there, the Willies. I always do this. King Kong Lives is in here, which is absolutely bitching. I've just said bitching again, I haven't said that for a while. And I'm just trying to... There's a kids section. Come on. Flesh Gordon. Hot Dog. The Invisible Kid. There's the one. They still call me Bruce. JJ Perry's in that. I already found that out recently. I've got the VHS somewhere of that. Berserker. Demon Paradise. Master Blaster. Slugs again. This happened to me last time I tried to do this. Earth Star Voyager. The Garbage Pail Kids, right. So the Garbage Pail Kids has been released. We're in kids here. That didn't sound right. Ghost Chase. King Kong Lives. Why is that in kids? We're still in kids. Watch Fortress being here. Space Hijack. Space Wars. Star Chaser. Teen Wolf Part 2. The Cartoon Adventures. Oh, come on. Sci-fi. Absolutely doing this ended. War of the Wizards. We go back a bit, I think. Kids. It's meant to be next to Teen Wolf, apparently. BMX Bandits. The Dirt Bike. BMX Bandits was another Australian import. That could have some connection to the... Wow. Clicked on for Fortress and this is happening. Back to Garbage Pail Kids, back to Ghost Chase. It's hidden. It's going to be this bugger in the middle, isn't it? It's a heavy book, this. There we go. The Go Kids. So that's what it was originally called. It's got a Goonies kind of look. It looks like he's got a fucking lightsaber, but it's a torch sticking up in the air. And that would have been the big box VHS. There's a couple of times I tried to get a big box VHS and it's gone for over £50. And I'm like, nah, not doing that. So yeah, that's the reason to buy the Quest. That's the reason for it to be at the very end of this video. This will be the end of this video, unless there's any other outtakes. Obviously I haven't filmed it, but for me, adding stuff in. What an awesome thing to get frog streaming, because again, as soon as I watched Fortress, I thought it was frog streaming. So if you haven't seen it, it's fucking awesome. Bye! Okay, welcome to the very end. It's the very end of the Fortress video. What a day. One edit. Done, dusted. Obviously additional stuff was filmed this morning with the kitchen. And then I'm trying to put together all the ending bits. Didn't help that I decided to wear this, as well as there's a pre-take edit of me wearing this as well. So there's a bit where I'm wearing an orange. No, it's orange, it's yellow. And then wearing this. I'm not sure which way around they go. But hopefully they're in the right sense. If not, it's better for all than that, really. And I think I mentioned Bruce Willis's Fortress. Fortress 1 and Fortress 2. I think there's a third one coming out. Haven't had a chance to watch them today. Even though I've watched 3 Bruce Willis films back to back. I've watched Apex Predator. Wow. Wow. Talk about trying to remake Hard Target. I watched Acts of Violence, which is really good. Then I watched 16 Blocks, which really fell flat on its face. And then yeah, so as I mentioned that, then the other thing I mentioned was the sunset, and then I decided not to show it, but now I'm going to show you it. Look at the background. Look at that. So if that was now, that'd be CGI. That is an amazing shot, Fortress. Absolutely brilliant. And this is the end of the review. So thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.